What's up, you guys? Welcome to Political Fight Club. It's been a rough day for me. I'm having a tough time after watching all of the stuff that's happened this week and how everything seems to be nothing good is happening for the middle class and poor people, and it's driving me crazy. The Chauvin trial, not just that, everything in the news seems to be just horrible if you have any humanity in you. So I've been having a rough go of it, so I wanted to tell you guys, listen, it's okay to feel despair sometimes. It's natural if you're actually paying attention, and I do apologize for that. There's no way around it. The more informed you're going to become in the United States right now, the more depressed you're going to be if you have any semblance of empathy. So it's a curse. I wish that weren't the way it was, but that's just kind of it. So just a reminder, take some you time every once in a while and try to defrag, okay? It's okay to take some time to reflect and heal and rest and try to get your brain right. So now I'd like to move on, though. I have some good news, okay? And this actually made my day quite a bit better when I saw it. And I know, well, I didn't really see it. I thought about it. And I know some of you will disagree with my interpretation of what's going on, but I wanted to do a happy video, and I objectively think this is actually a good sign, okay? So the Bessemer Alabama Amazon factory voted about a week ago to unionize, and there were 6,000 people voting at that factory, and they still have not come out with the results. Now, there's two ways to look at this. One of the ways is kind of like, oh goodness gracious, they're taking so long to only count 6,000 votes. When they're taking this long, they can only be taking so long if they're trying to screw somebody. Like, that's what's going on. Like, they're taking this long because behind the scenes they're trying to rig it so that they don't unionize. And at first that's what I thought when I kind of had the idea earlier, and then I thought about it even more. And the longer that it goes, the more I think it's actually the opposite, guys. And here's the evidence that I have, and I know it's not exactly the same. It's not, a direct parallel, but you guys remember the Iowa caucuses, right? With Bernie having actually won all of the delegate, or won the popular vote, and he should have at least taken half the delegates, which he didn't end up taking half the delegates. Pete took more than half the delegates, even though he lost the popular vote. That's democracy in America for you. But remember how long it took for those results to come out? It took days. And the reason is that the establishment didn't want to allow Bernie the momentum boost that he would get from winning the first primary, even though they knew behind the scenes that he had won. So what they did is they slow played it till after the New Hampshire primary and released it very subtly behind the scenes, no headlines, that Bernie actually won Iowa, and by then it was, a week removed. So I think that what has actually happened here, guys, is that they voted to unionize, and it probably wasn't close, and it's embarrassing. Once they release the actual data here, it's going to be an overwhelming victory, I think, for the union, and I think that they will form a union, and the reason that it's taking this long is exactly the same reason that it took so long in the Illinois or the Iowa primaries, is because they're doing their best. The powers that be, the Bezoses of the world in particular in this effort, is pulling strings to release the results quietly as we can. But we're not going to allow that, are we? If they unionize, we're going to scream it at the rooftops and get all the rest of them to unionize. We're going to push this across the board. So this was a monumental vote. The longer that they take to release the results of this, the more I'm thinking that it has to be a victory for the union. If they wanted to rig it, if they were really delaying it to rig it, with 6,000 votes, you delay it by a day or two, I think. Because, it wouldn't really take that much, right? It's not millions of votes, not hundreds or tens of millions of votes. It's just 6,000 votes, less than that, 5,800 votes. So I think if they were really rigging it from behind the scenes, and they wanted to delay it a couple of days, that's all it would take. Now that it's been a week, I think that they're delaying it because they want to release the the really good news for all of us is under the radar as they can. So I'm making a prediction here. I think that the Bessemer, Alabama workers at the Amazon factory there did vote to unionize, and what they're doing right now is taking their sweet time, let the story pass for a while, and then you'll see it slipped into, like, page 5 of the New York Times or something like that. It's going to be buried. They won't. They want to shed as little light on it as possible, but we're not going to allow that. As soon as it comes out, I'm going to shine the biggest goddamn spotlight ever on it. And if it turns out they didn't unionize, man, I'll be very surprised at this point, man. I mean, I'd be very surprised. So here's hoping, guys. Don't want to jinx anything. I've had my fingers crossed, but I think this is a good sign. I think any day now we're going to get the results and they're going to be good news. So we'll see you later. Hope I'm right. See ya.